And we are live. Back once again. All right, let me turn that off. It was a little cold in here earlier. Gonna wait a few minutes for some people to get in here. If I remember right, works best if I do that. And we're gonna do this. Hope everybody's having a good day. I actually sent a message to a friend that I needed some custom music for this. Something that's not going to get pulled down because of copyright or anything like that. You know what I mean? So, but I do have some music that I actually is, I guess, produced. I'm not a producer, but I executive produced a project a while back, and so I think it'd be kind of fun. Maybe if I pull up some of that. Let's see, because I know it's not getting claimed right now. See if I can pull it up on YouTube. Here we go. Trump is finishing up, I guess, his State of the Union. I was watching that earlier. It's pretty crazy, but I'm not going to get political on this because I don't see the point. I could, if I wanted to get political, um, if I wanted to get political, like there's growth, like, obviously half the country could hate me, but I don't care for that. It's not in my interest. So I'm not going to talk about it, but it was interesting to watch. That's for sure. It was definitely unprecedented for sure. So we can talk about some other stuff that's different political stuff. But again, not that. So let's see here. Oh, that's cool. Six went live with ODM Slim. You guys don't know who that is. All right. So welcome, guys. I kind of wanted to continue on a little bit of this. Who the is Fairfield Jonny? Just because I just think it's important as I'm getting into this space that people start following and watching. My last video about me going to Hyphy Burger has 300 and some views already in a day. Or 2 days. So that's pretty cool. That's pretty exciting. I really enjoyed doing my stream on Sunday. Obviously, had a good time drinking the wine. That was a lot of fun. But I also had a good time with the music and stuff like that. So you know what I mean. Like this is going really good. I'm really happy with the way things are going. So wanted to just get on here tonight, talk a little bit, especially because it is a special time of the year and a special part of the world. And I've been to Carnaval in Rio, and so I wanted to talk about it some, talk about that, and also to some other things. So let's see. Carnaval, Rio 2025. Okay, so the Carnival in Rio is literally happening right now. So the Carnival in Rio takes place every year, right around this time of year, and it's a pretty special thing. It's a pretty awesome experience. I accidentally got to go to Carnival in Rio. It's like I didn't mean to be there for Carnival. I have a cousin who is a professional MMA fighter. Shout out Suavecito MMA. If you are on Instagram, please go follow him. Go follow Suavecito. I know we're gonna do a pod at some point talking about that experience as well as his upcoming fights that he has and a couple of different things. I'm not okay. So one thing you guys are gonna learn about me, I'm not big on professional sports. Like I love sports. I play sports. I hoop. I play football if there's a game going or something like that, whatever. And I'm a casual watcher. I'm a casual sports fan. So my teams are the Raiders. I last couple years ago I became was it 2 years ago I became a Giants fan after the A's went to Vegas. I just can't do the Vegas A's. This is not going to be. It doesn't help. It doesn't work for me. Um, but I am I do have brother who competes in MMA as well, and a nephew who is a niece who is amazing, and a bunch of younger nephews who are on the come up. So MMA is a big part of our family's life now. Has been for a little while. As a supporter of my cousin, always been a big supporter of all my family. Like I said, one thing that, and I say that a lot, one thing, but something, I guess I could say, something about me is that I'm a big supporter of everybody around me. I'm a big supporter of those people in my family, people in my life, those who are trying to do something with their lives. I'm always going to be someone to support. I'm always going to pull up. I'm going to recognize talent in whatever I see, or if you're my family, if you're my blood, I'm always going to do what I can to support. If it's just pulling up, if it's helping to donate to something you got going on, I'm always going to try and do that. But I wanted to talk about the Carnival in Brazil and Rio, because of the fact that I went to Carnival really on a fluke, going for one of his fights. So my cousin is a professional MMA fighter. He is black belt jujitsu. He is sick. He was training down with Clever Jiu-Jitsu. That was his sense. His I guess it's, I don't know if it's his his sensei, maybe, I don't know, but again, this is not what I do. Some people are called coaches, some people are called professors, some people are called senseis, whatever it is. That's who he was training with, and so he had a fight, and he announced it, shared it, and it was a title fight. So it was a title fight in Sao Paulo. Now I'm not going to talk about the fight really, as far as like his actual fight, because he didn't win, and it was a rough thing. And the last thing I'm going to do is like be on here and highlight his loss, because he had a win after that. He came back to the States, and actually had a win in, I think it was in New Jersey, during COVID. And so again, this is all, or not during COVID, but post that one. So this is all been a couple of years now. But I went to go support him. So he was gonna be going to Brazil. I called him up. I was like, "Hey, cuz, like, I seen you're going to Brazil. Like, I've been wanting to go. Do you mind if I go? And with your fight, like, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead of you, and then I'll just meet you there." And he was like, "Yeah, of course. You're gonna go to my fight in Brazil." And I was like, "Heck yeah!" So I ended up taking. Well, again, I travel, so as a traveler, I just planned another trip, and so what I did was I bought a round trip ticket, from San Francisco to Sao Paulo. So I fly out of SFO a lot, and so I bought a round trip ticket to Sao Paulo. And when I got to Sao Paulo, I had a plan. So as a traveler, as a backpacker, and shout out to the backpack community, shout out to the travelers, those that stay in hostels, because going out and about and traveling, it's one of the most amazing things if that is your speed, if you have wanderlust. I always say I don't vacation, I travel. I try it whenever I would take a trip. I try and go for at least like 10 days. And so I have a trip coming up here in the end of the month. Right now it is March 4th. We got to update our subscribers before the end of the stream as well. Want to update that. I'm actually pretty excited about that. But it's March 4th, and I leave on March 26th. So I leave on March 26th, and I'm going to be gone for 10 days. So let me see here, the 26th. Week one, two, three, for 11 days total. Okay, so it's 11 days, but I say 10 days because it's also partially um like watching I mean, watching, thinking and talking. Flying out at where I'm going, it takes almost like a full day and a half to get to where I'm going. So it's a lot, and it's partially because I got a cheap flight route, and then partially because it takes a long time to get down there. Just the route is the route. So, anyways. So I booked a flight, and my flight was to land at, like I said, land at Sao Paulo, and then from Sao Paulo, I'm a frugal traveler, so I take buses a lot of times. So from Sao Paulo, I took a bus to Rio. Now, mind you, I did not know Carnival was happening. Okay, didn't know Carnival was happening. Didn't know that it was going on. All I knew was that I wanted to go visit Rio de Janeiro. Who doesn't want to go to Rio, right? So I think I was in Sao Paulo for like one night, just a night. Saw Sao Paulo like for a little bit. I think I went out or something like that, and then jumped on a bus and went straight to Rio. Now the bus for Sao Paulo to Rio is not close. It takes a little while. So here, let's see. Sao Paulo to Rio bus. It's a 5-hour bus. Okay. Now I'm gonna tell you, uh, go at night. So, like I actually I'll be honest, I don't think I actually stayed a night in Sao Paulo. I think I crashed on the bus all night, like a night. So a night bus is a real thing. It's like a very typical thing in South America. You will catch a night bus between cities, and it's the way everybody travels. Like there's two different types of buses though. Well, there's three different types of buses. You have your what they call the chicken bus. So the chicken bus is like the local bus. That's the bus that the chickens are literally on with the people. The next bus is gonna be your regular kind of like the it's like almost like a city bus, but it's gonna be traveling like I mean longer distances, so it's a little bit more comfortable city bus. And then you have like the night buses, which have the night sleepers and those things. So and then when I get a night bus or any bus, preferably I want to be on the second level, and I want to have that front window view. So when you have that front window view, because you're on the second level, you're above the driver, and you just kind of have this like almost not usual front view up above. And it's great for pictures. The only thing is usually the buses or the windows are kind of scratched up, so it's hard to get pictures. So I'm gonna bring up some of this right now in a moment, but I did want to pull up Carnival on. That way the sound doesn't come through to here. And what I'm gonna do is, I wonder if this is copyrighted. That's what I'm curious of. But we're gonna find out together. So I've been talking a little bit about traveling. For those who are just tuning in, we're talking about Rio. Rio de Janeiro has Carnival going right now. So literally, the first night of the parade started last night, and they are in a building. And I'm going to show you some clips from it right now. It's called Sambodromo Marqués de Sapucaí, or the Sambo de Sapucaí. So that is the long stadium that they open up once a year for this parade. And if I get stuff wrong, I apologize. Uh, there's, it's literally, um, all right. It's literally firsthand information is what I get. So when I'm talking about this kind of stuff, it's not because like, oh, I researched this and I do that. I was there. So we're gonna show it. I'm gonna show you right now. Right. So with okay, perfect. All right, and then I'm gonna pause this. I'm gonna talk about it in a second. So with Sambo, oh, there it was. Okay, let's see. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and share this tab instead. All right, so this is the place where the carnival. Okay, so Carnival in Rio, it's a celebration, right? And I don't want to butcher all the details of it. I don't want to butcher exactly why they did it, who came up with it. There is a man who is accredited with the creation of Carnival. From what I discern from everything, I can give you my explanation. but it's pretty much a celebration of life, of culture. We are Brazilian. They do Carnival other places. So this is a right here, as you see, a purpose-built stadium constructed specifically to host the annual parade of samba schools each year during the festival of Carnaval de Rio. So the Samba Drome, right there. The Samba Drome, in Brazil, if you don't know, they don't speak Spanish; they speak Brazilian and falo português. Obrigado. So I can speak a little bit of Portuguese. I'm actually, if I had everything hooked up the way I wanted to do this, the way I would like to do this, and it's coming, I would have more videos and photos to show you about Rio and Brazil and all that kind of thing. I'll give you a good story, but I got some pictures and video to back it up. But they built this place specifically to hold the schools, and that's what I'm going to explain to you next is what the schools are. Okay, and so the schools are actually it's like a competition, right? So when you're in the Samba Drome, you are in this huge how long is it? Let me see. Let's see how long it is. I think it says right here. 1,000, yeah, it's roughly half a mile. So a mile is 5,280 feet, and so this is almost 2,000 feet. So they say it's half a mile long because whether the dimensions are, one the stadium or whatever, or where the seats are or whatnot, but it's literally specifically built for this. And so this is going on right now. This is happening right now. I'm going to show you some things that I have from it, and then I'm going to show you what we were just watching right there. Okay, so what we're tab, and please let me know just in case you guys aren't seeing anything. um I gotta pull the let me do that. Let me pull real quick before we go along. Boom. And so when you're in the stadium, perfect. Okay. Okay, so when you're in the stadium, your ticket, it actually indicates the seat that you have. So I have right here, let me show you. So here's my ticket from Rio Carnival, and don't mind, it looks a little beat up, and I'll blow it up a little bit. But on the ticket, it tells you what section you're in. So if you see right there, it says like Labo Lado, and so I was in the light section, right, and that's the sector 5. So where I was sitting at when I was there, I was in like one of these um like these upper decks, but like on the lower level of one of the upper decks in one of the first spots. So six different uh there's 6 different stands, and so I was in one of the first stands on the lower level on one of these decks, and then down below is so you notice like they have the t-shirts, they're all matching, and so when you get in those bottom sections, those are the baller sections, no lie. Those are the sections that they have free alcohol, free food, well, not free, but you pay for it with your ticket. So they're like the all-inclusive ticket. So you pay for those tickets like $500 for the night. The other tickets up top is about $100 for the night. And so, what ended up happening, how I got my ticket, all that stuff, I'll talk to you about a little bit. But let's watch a little bit of these parades. And this is my favorite school. So this is the school. People pretty much like they grow up in Rio, and I'm gonna talk about that a little bit too. They grow up in Rio, and you kind of become like a fan of a school. And so I'm a fan of Beija Flor, and I'll explain why I'm a fan of Beija Flor a little bit later, but I am a fan of Beija Flor. So we're gonna watch a little bit of Rio Carnival. This literally just happened 15 hours ago. Okay, so this just streamed. So this one right here, this is the other school, Imperatives, and then let's see. Oh, it's going on right now. Oh, we could watch it live. You guys want to watch it live?
E atenção, a pista é para quem desfila.
Here we go.
Respeite o nosso espetáculo.
Wow. Wow, look at that beautiful imagery.
E
Look at the
essa
elephants.
exígua
So they're
turma
probably getting ready to kick
informa
off. So what
Vendo
happens is
como
before they
presidente
actually head
Jeová e
out
memoriando
on the
Luiz
on the
Pacheco
parade
Drummond,
night, so that it starts at night. It
presidente
goes from like
Cátia
10
Drummond,
p.m. all the way
carnavalesco
till
Leandro
5 a.m.
Vieira,
It is
direção de carnaval
insane. And I'm gonna talk,
André
like I said, I'm gonna talk
Bonatti
a little bit about it
e
more.
Pedro
Just
Henrique
wanted to pull that up.
Leite.
Let's see the Beja Floor School though from last night. I want to check that out right there. Let's see if that loads up. Cool. I appreciate you guys tuning in. Whoever is tuning in, if you want to drop something in the chat, I'd appreciate it. Please like, subscribe if you haven't subscribed. If you can, like the video. Also, too, if you can please tell a friend, like, share the stream. Not sure who's watching, but feel free to join in the chat or watch in the show. You see right here, it's a lot of imagery. So the thing about Brazilian culture is there's such different, diverse culture. There's such different elements of it. One thing about Brazil that, and I muted that just so I could talk. One thing about Brazil that shocked me when I went was, and I'm going to say this just honestly, how I see it, is how many black people were there. I had no idea really what to expect. In my mind, when I thought Brazilian, you think, like kind of caramel complexion, big butt, big, curvy things, kind of, but Brazilian butt lift. That's where that comes from, right? That's what you kind of think. And then you get there and you find out that Brazil was one of the last countries to outlaw slavery. On top of that, there was more slaves taken to Brazil than all the other countries combined. And so, really, what happened is they had a culture that is completely mixed. I mean, it is complete. You got again your Portuguese side of the people that were there. Then you have your African country, your Africans. Um, Citizens who came over, and now we're, some of us are fair skinned, some of us are dark, and what are we going to do? And to me, that's what Carnival is a celebration of. We may have African roots, we may have Portuguese roots, but we're all Brazilian. And this is and you can see there's a Brazilian people there. Just kidding. That was a corny joke. But if you see right there, there's another section. See right there where there's the white section with the lights, and like then you have another deck where the people are. So that's like a level of ticket you want. If you want a place where you can sit down and be covered, or you want to be open in the air, it's all based on what you want to pay. And so some of those lower level tickets down there, they're paying to be there all night long. They're getting their food included, they're getting their drinks included, and then now they're watching the parade. And the parade of the schools is really it goes all night long, and they sing the same song over and over again for like 1 hour. You have a program, um and if you can listen, let me see if I can turn it up a little bit. It sounds not going to be great because of how they shoot it, like how it is, because everybody's singing, and so you hear everybody's voices, but it's not like this. This is fed in through an audio of the people aren't mic'd up. That's why you're hearing it like that. This imagery is really crazy right here. This is kind of demonic, and that's still a part of their culture. But yeah, being there is amazing. I highly recommend. I'm planning to go next year, so if I can, this time next year, turn this dream into a trip where we get people to go to Rio for Carnival. That would be crazy. And I want to talk about my experience of how I got there, without some of the pictures and videos, but we'll make it work. Wow, look at this. Just jump ahead. I just want to, because I don't want to spend the whole time watching this. I want to check some of the other floats. Let's see what this one's like. All right. Oh, this is the same float. It just turned into something different now. Oh, it's God. God and has defeated Satan. Jesus is up there defeating Satan, I guess. Something like that. So you notice here, I think these are the judges. So with the schools, here we go. All right. So with the schools in every competition in the parade of floats, this is what they're getting judged on. So let's see here. Let's learn together. Ready? What am I doing? Okay. So let's get this first word, because I'm not going to jack this up when I have Google right here. You feel me? Okay. Okay. So the first word is samba enredo. Samba enredo is the samba plot. So what is the samba plot to this? Okay. So it says samba enredo. So what is the samba plot? Now the thing for what are the particular characteristics of samba music? So I samba is a type of popular music with roots in Afro-Brazilian traditions. So that's why I said earlier that the Brazilians are partially Portuguese, partially Afro, partially whoever the natives, which excuse me because I don't know the name of the, like, for instance in Chile it's the Mapuche. So I don't know the name of the Brazilian natives. I'll have to figure that out. Actually, I should. Oh, I do. And I just can't think of it because I always ask that kind of question. But I'll figure it out in a minute. So, anyways, so the characteristics are the rhythmic patterns, the emphasis on melody, relatively simple harmonies, the use of African percussion instruments, and Portuguese language lyrics. So it's those using those elements as what is your plot in the music. That's that first thing that they're being judged on. Okay, harmonia, obviously. What's the harmony? Bateria. So let's look at that. Bateria. So the battery. I don't know. I guess that's maybe the power in the source. I think the battery is going to be the group of the people. Okay. So let's see. Then the front commission, so that comicial de frente. So one thing about Portuguese is they have a sound that we don't really have. We do, but we don't like use it like that. So like when you see that AO, or they have one that's EU, it's ayao. Like so instead of connection, it's connexiao. So it's that comicial. So it's commission. So instead of commission or commission, it's comicial, and then it's de frente, so the front commission, and then mestre sala and portabanda. And my friend Sarah Valeska, she's gonna kill me that my Brazilian has gotten terrible. I'll tell you a story about Valeska one day, guys, but not today. Talking about Carnival today. Okay, so the next one is Maestra Sala and Porta Bandera. So the master room and banner holder. So those are going to be those people holding the banners and the different things. So that's what they're judging on that. And then let's do this next one. Allegoria y aderecos. Okay, the allegory and the props is the next one. So how are you using the allegory and the props? And I'm sure the next one is evolution. Yeah. So the evolution, how has it changed? What evolved in it? I believe that is what's evolving in the float itself. So as we're watching it, it started as one. We'll look at the next one with all these characteristics in mind. And Fantasia, of course, is going to be the fantasy. Okay, and then the enredo, which we already use, um, is the plot. Okay. So it's going to be based on the samba plot, the harmony, the battery, the commission in the front, the people who are holding the banner, the what was that one? Allegoria. Ah, the allegory and the props. Okay, that was it. The props. So aderecos is pops. Okay. Then the evolution, the fantasy, and the enredo. So that's what they're getting judged on right. So this camera's coming from this point. This is the part where they're gonna go. They're gonna salute the judges. So here's the next scene in Beja Florida that we're watching. So these are gonna be the front commission, I believe. This is we're gonna be those people that we're they're getting judged on all this, of course. And so again, this is a competition. Look how amazing, look how intricate those dresses and those costumes are. They are practicing this. They so while this is going on, I'm gonna go ahead and mute this. That way you can hear me better. So when I went to Brazil, I was single, and I definitely had an amazing time. And my first night in Rio, I actually was curious. I wanted to go to Sugarloaf, which is the hills where they have the gondola that goes in between the top of the two mountain tops, right? And it's this amazing mountain view scenery. So I went out there. Then I made some friends with some Germans. And again, when I get everything together to show all together, I'll do it that way. I can't just click through my Insta because it gets pretty wild. So and some of that stuff I don't want to put on the channel. But so when I got to Rio, I went out and I went out to this pizza place, and I was at a pizza place, and on the TV I was watching this, literally watching the YouTube of the carnival going on, and I was like, "Is this happening right now?" And I met a dude. Shout out Zoe. Hey, shout out my boy Zoe, Barber World TV. Shout out Zoe. He is a traveler, so he's a New York barber who retired and picked up traveling. And let's see, let me pull it up right here. Yep, Barber World TV on Instagram. He's got almost 10,000 followers. He was last in Peru, it looks like. But the homie Zoe, look, and for some of you ladies, you're gonna want to follow my man right here. Here you go. So that's Zoe, Barber World TV. So I'm literally, he's a traveler. He's been all around the world also. So I'm literally inside of a pizza place, and I'm hanging out, and I'm like looking at the TV, and I'm going, is that happening right now? There's no way that that's happening right now. And I look at this guy, and I'm like, hey, is that happening right now? Like, stupid, right? Like, yeah, bro, it's happening right now. And I'm like, I thought they canceled Carnival because, mind you, it was during the pandemic. It was like 2022, right? And so in 2022, when the pandemic got canceled, um I mean, when the pandemic hit, they had a resurgence of COVID, so they had canceled it, and it's usually like at the end of February, beginning of March. Well, the resurgence of COVID kind of like died down, and so they real quickly rescheduled it. So if you look on my ticket, it actually says Sunday the 27th of February. So if you look right here, it says Sunday the 27th of February. But if you look right there, it's actually an official sticker that they had to put on them for the next date, and it shows the dates on there. So I attended it kind of like by chance. Like I said, I didn't mean to arrive for Carnival, but I'm sitting there, and this is the fun part that you guys are gonna, this is some about me you're gonna learn. So I'm sitting there, and I'm like, well, I'm here. I didn't necessarily budget to go to Carnival, but I want to go. And I looked online, and the only tickets left online are like $500 all inclusive tickets. They include your drinks, your meal, all that stuff. And I mean, like, I want to go, but I just didn't have an extra 500 to go to something that I didn't really even know exactly what it was, what I was getting into, what was going to happen, anything like that. I'm just sitting here at a pizza place, and this is fun because it would be nice to maybe even do something with Zoe, like link up somewhere overseas and film something. That would be fun. But you got to remember, I'm just sitting at a pizza place. Like, imagine you're at your favorite round table, eating round table, and on TV it's like, oh, the Super Bowl's on, literally. And then someone says, "Oh yeah, it's the Super Bowl is happening this week. You should go." And I say, "I should go? I can't get a ticket. I don't even know how. The ones online are expensive. They're like five something." No, 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 no. I know a guy. I got a guy. He gave me my ticket last night. So I said, okay. So and I have this all video. I have this on video. So I said, okay. And mind you, first time in Rio, one of my first nights there, drinking, walking around with a bottle of wine, stopped at this pizza place, having a drink, chopping up with Zoe now. And I'm like, all right. And he's like, meet me tomorrow. I'm gonna link you with the guy. So we meet the next day, and I'm on the beach, and I'm literally meeting like a Brazilian in shorts and sandals. You know what I mean? Like, that's it. He's just a guy. Now, mind you, my boy is dope. He's hella cool. I still have his number. He can get you anything in Rio that you want. Let's just say that. And so I'm in on the beach, and here's a guy handing me a ticket, and I'm like, hey man, it says February 27th. He's showing me the official dates. He's like, man, the other guy's like, it's good, bro. It's good. And so I do the deal, hundred and something dollars for this last minute ticket, and I'm in there, right? And obrigado is thank you in Brazil. In Brazilian, if you want to learn, or I mean Portuguese in Brazilian. In Portuguese, if you want to learn a couple quick things, obrigado is thank you, and then you have to learn um tudo bem. Tudo bem is everything's all good. So everything's all good, and you got to say obrigado, thank you. And so I get my ticket. I go back to my Airbnb. I talk to my Airbnb host, which is a vital part of the story for the next time. For next time, I'll tell you about Valeshka. But Valeshka, my Airbnb host, I'm like, hey, I'm going to Carnival. She's like, you're going to Carnival? I just went last night. She's showing me pictures. She's down on the lower level, right? And she's got baller tickets, right? And, it was pretty cool. So I'm like, yeah, I'm going to Carnival. And she's like, have fun. So Carnival is 10 p.m. to 5 a.m. It's crazy. So I go to Carnival and I was a little confused because the stadium is so big. They have entrance points. So like I mean, it's like any other stadium, but I'm not in my home country. So I'm like freaking out, like, where am I going? Where am I going? Finally get to where I need to go. And that's where we're gonna go to next, right here. And please, again, like, subscribe, share this with some people. I wanted to share some things about traveling. And you know what I did? I clicked off the page that I had loaded when I went to Zoe. I totally messed myself up. I had it all loaded up and ready to go, but that's okay because I'll scroll it, and you guys are still looking at that. So let me go ahead and play that real quick while we're talking about it. So once I got my ticket, headed to the stadium. And now here's the cool part, right? Is when I get to the stadium and I get to my section, I just so happen to be in a dope section where these ladies who were, and this is just the way I describe it, how I experienced it. They were all middle-aged, like lesbian women, and they were like a group together, and they spoke English, and it was such a godsend. I was so thrilled. I was so happy. So I actually got to experience um Carnival with having like almost like a personal translator there, which is unbelievable because so much was going on that I didn't expect or understand. Like I didn't know why certain things were happening. I didn't know why we were singing the same song over and over and over and over again. Now, I don't know the words because I don't know samba music like that. So I don't know the music, but I'm participating, and they actually give you a book. I have one over there. It wouldn't make sense to bring it up. Sorry, I don't know why I have the hiccup so bad. Um, as I was saying, So they give you a book, and inside the book, it has it's a program, obviously, but it has the words to the song. And so as we're hanging out, there's the words. I don't speak Portuguese very well, but I try and I give it us. We're having a good time. There are beers everywhere. I mean, it's just like being at a basketball game, football game. They're selling beers. They're affordable. And man, I had such an amazing time. I gotta tell you, being at Carnival was crazy. And so I had these women explaining to me that here goes the schools. These are the different schools that are going through, and then that it's a competition. They're explaining all the things that I'm explaining to you were explained to me by these women that I sat with, and I'm going to show you some of them right now. Okay. All right. So here's where we're going to go to my Instagram. So please, if you're not following me, follow me on Instagram, Fairfield Jonny. I don't have a TikTok or anything. I'm gonna make one. I actually and literally ordered a new phone, and it arrives tomorrow night. So tomorrow night I'll have a new phone. But yeah, let me go ahead and pull this up real quick. I just real quickly want to make sure because last time I showed an Instagram, you couldn't see it, and so I want to make sure you're seeing it. Perfect, you're seeing it. Okay. So here is yeah. Okay. So here is what I told you guys about. Here's the night bus. Oh, I took I took a day bus. Okay. So I did leave during the day. I left at and I'm wearing, you can see there I'm wearing my Fairfield I Love You sweatsuit. So this Fairfield I Love You pants. Let me see what I have. It's not really in town, but that's what a bus. That's the bus ride in the front I told you about. So in the front view of the bus, you've got that full upper deck view up top, and it's the beautiful